means every living entity has a prediction, happiness and distress in the present body. This is called the law of karma. It is not possible that simply by endeavor to accumulate more money, a person will be able to do do so. Otherwise, almost everyone would be on the same level of wealth. In reality, everyone is earning and acquiring according to his predestinate karma. According to the Bhagavatam conclusion, we are sometimes faced with dangerous or miserable condition without enduring for them, and similarly we may have prosperous condition without enduring for them. We are advised to let these things come a predestinate. We should engage our valuable time in prosecuting Krishna consciousness. In other words, one should be satisfied by his natural condition. If by predestination one is put into a certain condition of life which is not very pro, pro, propos, pro, prosperous in comparison to another position, one should not be disturbed. One should not be disturbed. He should simply try to utilize his valuable time to advance in Krishna consciousness. Advancement in Krishna consciousness does not depend on any material prosperous or distressed condition. It is free from the conditional imposed by material life. A very poor man can execute Krishna consciousness as effectively as a very rich man. One should therefore be very satisfied with his position as offered by the Lord. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, can I request other devotee to read second paragraph, please?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. May I read?
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Another word here is metta bhuk. This means that one should eat only as much as necessary to maintain the body and soul together. One should not gluttonous to satisfy the tongue. Grains, fruits, milk, and similar foods are allotted for human consumption. One should not be excessively eager to satisfy the tongue and eat that which is not meant for humanity. Particularly, a devotee should eat only prasada, or food which is offered to the personality of Godhead. His position is to accept the remnants of those foodstuffs. Innocent foods like grains, vegetables, fruits, flowers, and milk preparations are offered to the Lord, and therefore there is no scope for offering foods which are in the modes of passion and ignorance. A devotee should not be greedy. It is also recommended that the devotee should be muni, or thoughtful. He should always think of Krishna and have to render better service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That should be his only anxiety, as a materialist is always thoughtful about improving the material condition. A devotee's thoughts should always be engaged in improving his condition in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, he should be a muni. Hare Krishna.
Great. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, can I request another devotee for another paragraph, please?
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, go on, Mataji.
No, Mataji, please, you go on.
Hare Krishna. The next item recommended is that a devotee should live in a scheduled place. Generally, a common man is interested in pounds, shillings, and pence, or materialistic advancement in life. which is unnecessary for a devotee. The devotee should select a place for residence where everyone is interested in devotional service. Generally, therefore, a devotee goes to a sacred place or pilgrimage where devotee lives. It is recommended that he live in a place where there is no large number of ordinary men. It is very important to live in a secular place. Vivikta Sharna. The next item is Santa, or the peacefulness. The devotee should not be agitated. He should be satisfied with his natural income, eat only as much as he needs to keep his health, live in a secular place, and always remain peaceful. Peace of mind is necessary for persecuting Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. One more last paragraph. Please. Any devotee, please?
Prabhuji, I can read.
Yes, Mataji.
The next item is Maitra, friendliness. A devotee should be friendly to everyone, but his intimate friendship should be with devotees only. When others he should be official, he may say, "Yes, sir, what you say is all right," but he is no intimate with them. A devotee should, however, have compassion for persons who are innocent, who are neither atheistic nor very much advanced in spiritual realization. A devotee should be compassionate towards them and instruct them as far as possible in making advancement in Krishna consciousness. A devotee should always remain Atmavan, or situated in his spiritual position. He should not forget that this main concern is to make advancement in spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness. Oh, sorry, my screen just went. Or Krishna and he should not ignorantly identify himself with the body or the mind. Atma means the body or the mind, but here the word Atmavan especially means that one should be self-possessed. He should always remain in the pure consciousness that he is spirit soul and not the material body or the mind. That will make him progress confidently in Krishna consciousness. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, all Matajis, for the reading. Okay, it is a long purport, but this is all essential. So here, in our Varnashrama Dharma, there are 4 ashramas: Brahmacharyam, Grihastham, Vanaprastham, and Sannyasam. Of course, here there are no sannyasis, but the sannyasi is the topmost ashram. And then 4 varnas. So, but here, especially in executing Krishna consciousness, what ashrama we need to take shelter of? So again, based on one's mental condition. So initially, there are Brahma has created 4 ashramas and 4 dharmas. So let me just share one of the. Yes, this is for in the ashramas, Brahmacharyam. The first level, there are 4 levels of Brahmacharya. One is the Savitram, Prajapatyam cha, Brahmam cha, Ata, Bruhattada. These are Savitram, Prajapatyam, Brahmam cha, Ata, Bruhattada. So Savitram is like taking the initiation of a Brahman initiation, taking the sacred thread. Prajapatyam is following 1 year of rules and regulations very strictly. And Brahmamcha, and studying the Vedas, and then Bruhattada, being himself celibate for throughout his life. And this is Brahmacharya Ashrama. Next is coming to Grihastha Ashrama. It belongs to ourselves. So here, Brahma has created Vata, Sanchaya, Shalina, Siloncha. There are 4 categories in the Grihastha Ashrama. Vata is the occupation. It is like vocation in terms of Vedic sanctions. For example, Nanda Maharaj has got so many cows. He lives on those using, that is his livelihood. He does not have to depend on someone else. This is called Vata. And also, if anything is there, he will give it to everyone in a charity. This is Varta. And Sanchaya is like a Gruhastha. This is Varta Gruhastha. And Gruhastha in the second level, he does not have he can occupy a position. For example, Janaka Maharaj, he has got his kingdom. It is a position, and he maintains himself, he maintains the country. It is a job, occupying a job. This is Sanchaya. We're all nowadays going to the offices and corporates. These are all jobs. This is called Sanchaya Vritti. Sanchaya is a professional duty. And the next is the Salina. Salina is a livelihood. For example, in the Sudhama, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, whatever he comes into his day-to-day livelihood, he will accept it and then without asking anyone for cooperation. That is called Shalena, simple life. Okay, there are once Sudhama in the Malakara, so when Krishna was entering into Madhura, during that time, Sudha one who gives the flower garland to Sudhama, that is one Sudhama. So we see that again later on, and this is Krishna's friend, the Sudama and his wife Susila are there. So they are example for the Saline. And next is the Siloncha. So Siloncha is one who picks up the rejected grains from the fields and then live his life. Is Mudgala. One of the example is Mudgala. That one later on Brahma also mentions out of the Mahajanas and devotees of the Lord. He is also one of the person. Okay, these are the four kinds of occupations: Vata, Sanchaya, Shalina, Siloncha. These are gradually different levels. Siloncha is it is a bit of picking up the rejected grains. In the similar way, in the Vanaprastha one who enters, here Lord Brahma has created another four of them in the Vanaprastha, four categories. One he who has moved away from the Grihastha into Vanaprastha. There it is Vaikanasa, Valakilyav, Audambara, Penapa Vane. Vane is the Vanaprastha. Vaikanasa, who lives on section of men who retired from the active life and live on half-boiled meals. Vaikanasa. And Valakilyav, one who quits his former stock of grains on receipt of more. He does not accumulate his grains anymore. And then he will completely depend on the Supreme Lord. This is Valakilya. Next is the Audambara. Audambara is one who lives on what he gets from the direction towards which he starts after rising from bed. This is Audambara. Penapa is the one who lives on the fruits which automatically fall from the tree. Okay, this is Vanaprastha. And next is Sannyasa is again, there are four categories. Kutichaka, Nyase Kutichaka Puram, Bhagavado Hamsha Nishkriyav. This is Kutichaka, Bhudaka, Parirajaka, and Paramahamsa. In the Kutichaka, he lives in the nearby life in the family without attachment. That is in the beginning life of Sannyasa Ashrama. Next is the Bahuvadaha or Bahudaka. So giving up all material activities and engaging fully in transcendental service. No more depending on the family. This is Bahudaka. Next is Hamsa or Parirajaka. Fully engaged in the transcendent knowledge and wandering around the world and give Krishna consciousness to everyone. Next is the Nishkriya. It is Paramahamsa stage, stopping all kinds of activities, come to the holy Dham and where he live and relishing the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of God. Okay, so here in all four ashramas and four ashramas, and in each ashrama, again 4 levels are there. Everything is to simplify one's life so that he can spend all of the time for the spiritual progress. So that's why Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, he Yukta Hari Viharasya Yukta Chestasya Karmasu Yukta Swapna Bodhasya Yogo Bhavati Dukkaha. Yogo Bhavati dukkha. Then he can conquer all kinds of miseries when he has got a discipline. So here Prabhupada mentions in the purport, everyone has accepted a material body but must maintain the necessities of the body by acting or earning some livelihood. And here that is everyone, all living entities do that naturally. As soon as the hunger starts in the tummy, then automatically he will search for the food. That is where the starting point for a living entity doing many things. And then because if tasty he eats more, Udara Vegam, Upastha Vegam, there are so many Vegas come into the picture. Okay, so here Prabhupada mentions a devotee should only work for such income as is absolutely necessary. If we accumulate more and more, it will give pains to us. It will keep on disturbing. Unless those are engaged in Krishna consciousness. And he should be satisfied always with such income and should not endeavor to earn more and more and simply to accumulate the unnecessary. But whatever we accumulate, we would not enjoy all of it as well. So Swadharmacharanam Sekcha Vidharmacha Nivattanam Daivalabdhena Santosha Atmavit Charanachanam. Atmit Charanachanam. One has to execute the duties, Swadharmacharanam Sekcha, by according to his capability, execute material duties. Swadharmacharanam Sekcha Vidharmacha Nivattanam. Stop all kinds of unnecessary activities. Daivalabdhen Santosha. Be satisfied whatever it comes in. Daivalabdhen Santosha. Atmavit Charanachanam. And take the Atmavit. He need to take the shelter of the spiritual master. This is the essential duty for a devotee. He should be satisfied with such income. And yam yam madhumupadatya dukkena sukha hetave tam tam dhunoti bhagavan puman soti yakrute. When we accumulate so much money, but how do we accumulate money? Yam madhumupadatya dukkena sukha hetave. With so much of hard labor, one accumulates money. And then tam dhunoti bhagavan. And the Lord will take, like in terms of the taxes, the rents or mortgages and bills, that bill, this bill, and then all money will go. At the end, what would happen? Dukkena sukha hetave, but tam dhunoti bhagavan puman sochati yat krite. But a person would at the end, he will again end up with miseries only or dissatisfaction. Puman sochati, he laments because he doesn't have any more money. But in order to maintain the same amount, he has to keep on maintaining that hard labor throughout the life if he wanted that same comforts. Okay, that is proper. So here, whatever the happiness and distress, it is already destined, predestined. It is already yajjad bhavyam bhavatu bhagavan purva karmanurupam. This is Naham Vande Tava Charanayoho Dhandva Madhandva Hetoho. So there is Kulashekara praise are there. Nasta Dharme Navachinisaye Naiva Kamupabhoge Yajjad Bhavyam Bhavatu Bhagavan Purva Karmanurupam Etat Prajyam Mama Bahumatam Janma Janmantarepi Janma Janmantarepi. So he is asking, he wanted to meditate on the lotus feet of the Lord. So this is very beautifully he prays in the Mukunda Mala Stotra. So it is all his happiness and distress, it is already predestined. We are trying to adjust only the comforts of the life. This is not actually the happiness and the distress. Comforts are different, and happiness directly, it touches the soul. That is the happiness, that is fixed. It is predestined. And here, a person in conditioned state who has no money is always found working very hard to earn, some with the object of lording it over material nature. Kapiladeva instructs that we should not endeavor hard for things which may come automatically without extraneous labor. One can practically have experience. For example, in the childhood, whatever the happiness we have got, and now if we just see that it is same happiness, it is not increased too much of happiness. In childhood, we were struggling to study in the schools and reading books and writing exams and all those things. Now the problems, they have changed into different dimensions only, but the happiness remains the same. Happiness remains the same. So again here, further Prabhupada mentions the exact word used in this connection, yadruchaya, which means that every living entity has a predestined happiness and distress in his present body. This is called the law of karma. Yad yad bhavyam bhavatu bhagavan purva karmanurupam. Okay, so this is called, and it is not possible that simply by endeavors to accumulate more money, a person will be able to do so. Otherwise, almost everyone would be on the same level of wealth. This is again one of the statements. Prithu Maharaj, in his statements, in his instructions to all of his subjects in the presence of the Pitrus, forefathers, and demigods, and all other demigods, and sadhus, everything. So he speaks that how can any one person is in a good, living in a better position, one person is poverty stricken, going through so many hurdles, because everything is running under Mayadhyakshena Prakritihi Suitesa Jaracharam, under the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he mentions Iha Mutracha Lakshente, in this life and also next life. How can anything would happen? Because unless there is a person. So my dear subjects, my dear people, so what you need to do is he gives instructions. You worship that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the source of all these things. By worshiping him, one can get the happiness and life, the day-to-day livelihood, all those things. He gives those instructions to his subjects, which is a beautiful chapter in the 4th canto, 21st chapter. There are 24 shlokas he speaks. It is essential for all the politicians to hear and follow. So here, accumulate more money, a person will be able to do so. Otherwise, almost everyone would be on the same level of wealth. In reality, everyone is earning and acquiring according to his predestined karma. This karma is already predestined. One has to struggle. It will not be reduced or it will not be increased as long as he is within his body. And without endeavoring for them, and similar, that's why Prabhupada says, so do not worry about here. What is the essential thing? Doing the right thing. If we just execute Krishna consciousness, everything will be set right according to the duties and everything else. If we try to fix each problem separately, individually, instead of watering the root of a tree, if we try to just water it and leaves or twigs or fruits and flowers like that, it will be great hard struggle. Just watering the root of a tree. Yatatarormutla nishechanena trupyant tatstandha bhujopi shakaha. Like a tree is nourished when watering the roots. When we are worshipping the Lord Krishna, yatarhanam achyuteja. So, in such a way, one will worship all kinds of demigods, just simply worshipping Achyuta. In such a way, as long as he is in the devotional service, everything else automatically come in his way. It is already predestined. One does not have to struggle hard. So here, according to Bhagavatam conclusion, we are sometimes faced with dangerous or miserable conditions without enduring for them. And similarly, we may have prosperous conditions without endeavoring for them. So these pains and pleasures, they will come and go. The money will come and go. Happiness will come and go. This is matra spashestu kaunteya sitoshna sukudakadaha agamapayino anityaha tam titikchasva bharata. They will come and go. And one does not, even though he does not desire this, the winter and cold, winter and summer, they will keep coming and going. They do not wait for one person likes or does not like. In a similar way, problems will come, the problems will go out. One has to be titikshaha. Titikshaha karunaya maitriya cha akilijintishu समत्वेन सर्वात्म भगवान आत्मा भगवान संप्रसीदति संप्रसन्ने भगवति पुरुषः प्रकृतैः गुणैः विमुक्तो जीव निर्मुक्तो ब्रह्म निर्वाणम् रुच्यति. So in his say again, these instructions given by Swayambhu Bhagavan and to Dhruv. The titikshaya, tolerate. Again, Krishna says titikshaya. Titikshaya is the topmost quality. One has, that is the starting point for spiritual life. So we are advised to let things come as predestined. We should engage our valuable time in prosecuting Krishna consciousness. Niramayam Krishna Rasayanam Piba. So again, this is idam shariram parinamapeshalam patityavasyam sladhandi jajjaram kim aushadihi klishyati modadhurmate Niramayam Krishna Rasayanam Piba. Without cessation, drink the nectar Krishna Katha. Okay, there is no medicines for all materialistic problems. This is Sri Krishna Divya Ushadam. Very beautiful, again, Mukunda Mala Sutra. So, in other words, one should be satisfied by his natural condition. If the predestination one is put into a certain condition of life which is not very prosperous in comparison to another's position, one should not be disturbed. This is called, we cannot inherit someone's happiness because we do not know what kinds of problems he is going on. Outside, we may be thinking that, oh, he's having fun, he's so beautiful, he is enjoying. But we do not know what are the problems in his mind he is carrying out. That we do not know. This is what called the karma. One should not be disturbed. So we need to be self-satisfied. Whatever we are experiencing, it is based on our karma. It is our activity. And he should simply try to utilize his valuable time to advance in Krishna consciousness. Advancement in Krishna consciousness does not depend on any material prosperous or distressed condition. It is free from the conditions imposed by material life. So this is, it is free from conditions imposed by material life. It is on top of, when we work in the material world, when we try to solve the problems, the influence of the material nature, it will intensify on a person. It will intensify the problems. So there, Prabhupada and our Acharyas, many people says, if there are any problems coming with any people in our day-to-day life or in the work life, simply do not counteract the problem. Simply just tolerate and then do not react or do not counteract. Titikshaya, that's where titikshaya come into the picture. Again, Kapil Bhagavan previously he has mentioned, again 10 minutes one. Okay. So he has said, Jnana Vairagyuktena Bhakti Yuktena Chatmana Paripasiti Udasinam Prakrutim Cha Hatavodasam. When we act like a Jnana Vairagya Bhakti, then Paripasiti Udasinam Prakrutim Cha Hatavodasam. The influence of the material nature does not act on a person because he is in the Jnana Vairagya and Bhakti. The influence of material nature does not work. So it is free from conditions imposed by material life. So a very poor man can execute Krishna consciousness as effectively as a very rich man. One should therefore be very satisfied with his position as offered by the Lord. Okay, this is the simple life. And another one is the eating, what kind of food habits. So this is about a myth book. Myth book means one should eat only as much as necessary to maintain the body and soul together. Yuktahara viharasya yuktacheshtasya karmasu yuktaswapna bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. When we eat little, as much as needed, then we can maintain the body. If we eat too much, it needs too much of rest, sleep as well. And then we cannot wake up early in the morning for Mangalacharana, Mangalarati, like that. So mitadho, one has to eat as much as needed, and also sleeping as well. Sleep as much as needed, not too much. One should not satisfy the tongue, because tongue, it wants so many other things, but tongue is maintained only to speak Krishna Katha and only to eat for the sake of tummy. Not any materialistic talking, no prasanga, and also not eating which is not prasada. Even that, so that is how we control the tongue. So again, it is one should not be excessively eager to satisfy tongue and eat which is not meant for humanity. It is all about eating of the dead bodies of the animals. Dead bodies meant to be buried in the ground in a graveyard, but people, they bring it and put it in their tummies. How those tummies are called? Bringing the graveyards into within one's own body. That is abominable. Where the graveyard, ghosts and pisachas, they will be living. In a similar way, that would influence our consciousness, mind, intelligence, and our activities. That is pisachas. Okay, so particularly, a devotee should eat only prasada or food which is offered to the personality of God. His position is to accept the remnants of those foodstuffs. This is Bhagavad Prasada. Eat only whatever is offered to the Lord. And it is sanctified. Lord accepts this food. Patram pushpam palam toyam yomi bhaktya praityati tadaham bhakti upurtam asnami praitatmanaha. So because asnami, Lord has accepted this one, and when we take that one, we will feel that happiness. It is remnants of the Lord. And innocent foods like giving all the fruit and vegetables, patram pushpam palam toyam, and milk and all those things, when these are the offered to the Lord, and therefore no scope for any foods which are in the mode of passion and ignorance. Okay, so ignorance, a devotee should not be greedy as well. So it is again not recommended devotee should be muni. It is also recommended that devotee should be muni. He should be thoughtful. Okay, and so better to he should always think of Krishna and how to render better service unto the Supreme Lord. And that should be his only anxiety, not anything else. Jyoti Mataji, are we joining back, Mataji, to the same meeting?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, no, it said you cannot join back. So we'll end in next few minutes and we
Yeah.
can't join back. I'm really sorry for today.
Oh, is that? Can't we join another 40 minutes, Mataji?
No, it just gives another 140 minutes, which is this 40 minutes. But now they don't give second chance. Like,
Okay. But
yeah.
in case we shall try, but let us see.
Yes.
We can try in case if it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so that's why one has to focus only on Krishna consciousness. And next is Prabhupada mentions about a secluded place. Again, Krishna says, Krishna also mentions, Mai Ananyena Yogena. So he also mentions that Aritijana Samsadi, Vivukta Desavitkum, Aritijana Samsadi. One should be far away from all kinds of the crowds. And people, general people, they are always in the markets, the pubs and the restaurants, like that. So devotee should be like in the nearer to the temples, in a pious places. And it should select a place of residence where everyone is interested in devotional service. And therefore, devotee goes to sacred place of pilgrimage where devotees live. This is one of the quality of a devotee. He associates with the devotees, reading scriptures, staying in the dhams, and executing the devotional service. These are very beautiful things. And it is recommended that he live in a place where there is no large number of ordinary men. It is very important to live in a secluded place. Okay, that is about this paragraph, and he is always peaceful. He should not be agitated because many things keep and coming and then going. So, but one should be peaceful, and then which is necessary for prosecuting Krishna consciousness. Okay, and then coming to the Maitra should be equivalent to all the living entities. But again, Kapil Bhagavan mentions later on, though one is executing devotional service, if he is envious of other living entities, then he will not be peaceful anymore. He would not be peaceful anymore. Likewise, he also mentioned later on in the 29th chapter of third canto. If he is even the envious of living entity, any person, then he is not in a right position to be happy. Okay, and so he should be compassionate for persons who are innocent, who are neither atheistic nor very much advanced in spiritual realization. Again, one should be, there are different kinds of devotees comes into the temple in our day-to-day lives. There, one of the statements by Narada Muni, he also mentions Gunadikan Mudam Lipsed Anukrosham Gunadamat Maitrim Samanat Anviche Natapaihi Abhibhuyate. And one should respect the person who is elevated, who is strong, who is elevated in Krishna consciousness. And then if he is a Anuprosham Gunadamat, if he is not having good qualities or devotee qualities, then show compassionate on person. And who has equal qualities, make friendship. When you have got such kind of levels, respect in those levels, then natapaihi abhibhuyate, you will not be, material miseries do not act upon you. Material miseries do not act upon you. Again, Mahatam Bahumanena Dhinanam Anukampaya. Mahatam Bahumanena Dhinanam Anukampaya. Maitriya cha evatmatulyeshu yemena niyemena cha. Following rules and regulations. Respect the seniors and show compassionate on the juniors and make friendship with the equals in Krishna consciousness, in the qualities. In such a way, one can progress and in the spirituality. A devotee should be compassionate towards them and instruct them as far as possible in making advancement in Krishna consciousness. A devotee should always remain Atmavan, situated in the spiritual position. He should not forget that his main concern is make advancement in the spiritual consciousness. Okay, Atma, who understands Atmavid, Atmavan, these are all related to the devotee. So next one is the Sanubhandech dehesmin akurvan asadagraham jnanena drushpatatvena prakrutehe purushasya cha. One's seeing power should be increased through knowledge of spirit and matter. One should not unnecessarily identify himself with the body and thus become attracted by bodily relationships. This is again the condition